Angela Aura and you're watching Dusty TV.
How's it going? Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here.
Excited to be here. Thank you for
excited.
having me.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Sydney originally. Most of my life there. Loved it, loved it, loved it. Until I lived on the road for a few years. And now I love it, love it, love it from afar. So, yeah, I love Sydney when I go back to it. The arts, the culture, the shows, the food, you know, the dance classes, the comedy, the arts, the shows. Did I say the shows? Okay, so sometimes I do miss Sydney. But yeah, lived on the road for a few years, and the most beautiful, peaceful place I found was Airlie, and that's where I settled. So yeah, love Airlie with all my heart. But yeah, I definitely miss the shows, the arts and the culture. That's something that I feel like Airlie could use a lot more of. It just needs to have it here, you know?
Definitely. And that's what I love what you're doing, is because you're bringing that arts, that culture to the forefront of Airlie Beach Minds. You know, you're doing PSYCABARET, you're just being yourself every day, you know, like you're a very inspiring woman. And I'm sure a lot of people that know you in town, like you are incredible, and you're an incredible artist. And I'm so excited for your projects that you're bringing to town.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about PSYCABARET.
Oh.
So how did this all start, and what can we look forward to?
Okay, alright, so PSYCABARET started, the concept was years ago. Myself and James Corbett, my co-producer from Adelaide now, we worked together for years and years, and he was always at me, we need to run our own events together. You know, we were always performing and managing, you know, on different sides, me on the performing side, him on the musical side of events. We need to produce our own event, something where it's like Psytrance, but a circus, he would say, and I'm like, James, you're crazy. And it just kept coming up, and we love working together, and it is a solid concept. And you know, thanks to COVID, a lot of things got put on the back burner, but the dust settled and the idea was still there, and so thus PSYCABARET came to be. So it's a bit of a fusion, so it's still a dance night, rather than a traditional sit-down cabaret, because we want the music to be big. We want the musical crowd that normally have performers as they're a cherry on top, you know, at musical events. They don't often get the limelight that they deserve. They're off in the corner, and that's fine. At a musical event, it's about the musicians. The performers get showcased traditionally at circuses, at cabarets. That's where they go. It's a sit-down event, completely different crowd. That crowd doesn't always go to dance music events. People at dance music events don't often go to cabarets. So this is a fusion of the arts, the two styles of gathering that really bring people together. Like, I believe, like arts and sports, funnily enough, are the two things that are saving society and that have so much power to bring society together. We have these comfortable lives in our comfortable homes, you know, with our comfortable little worlds, and we don't need community anymore. We're so rich, we're so privileged. We don't even need our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our friends, our neighbours. We're in our own little worlds. When we go out in public, we're not talking to each other. You know, like that sense of community is lessening as our privilege is getting higher, until we go to a sport event, not my forte, but respect where it's due, or to a show or to a musical event. Then you get people together, they don't even know each other, but they feel each other's energy. There's something drawing them together that creates a community. So two of the biggest ones being performances and music. Let's bring that all together. Let's mesh those two communities. Like, let's watch everyone's mind blow as the cabaret and arts crowd get exposed to different genres of music. Let's watch the dance music kids have their mind blown when they get to see artists like they've never seen them before. And a lot of the artists that we have upcoming for PSYCABARET, they're not the ones that you're going to get at the traditional music events. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be a shock. It's going to be an awe. And I'm so excited to bring the calibre of artists that we have. I don't think Ailey's seen anything like it before. Like, it's gonna be big. I'm not sure how much I can give away. Probably a lot. It's gonna be big.
So you guys have had a successful Cabaret in Adelaide last year, is that correct?
Yes, we sold out.
That's amazing. And then Sydney is coming up soon as well.
Yeah.
And then Airlie Beach. Are we allowed to talk about the venue and everything?
We are allowed to talk about the venue.
So tell us about the performers. Who's performing at Cabaret Airlie Beach?
Oh, okay, so we actually have a really wild lineup, Brooke. So most of our performers are fly-ins.
Mhm.
There's not that many people locally who fit the bill. However, the two that do fit the bill locally is myself. I'll be bringing some Sideshow and some flow and some sneaky new things that I'm not even going to tell you about. I'm going to debut them at the event. And we've got local circus boy Rudy. I'm so excited to have another local on the lineup with me to bring some man to the stage. So that's really incredible. We've had to fly a few people in from out of state, but I tell you what, they're heavy hitters. Oh, okay, so where do I start with it? Okay, I'll start with Scarlett Tinkerbell. So she's a cabaret producer in her own right. She's a burlesque performer, a sideshow artist. Her list of acts that I've had to choose from is as long as a scroll in a movie. She is incredible. She is power. She is just such a woman. She's performed all around the country, around the world. She's just something to behold. Next, we have Sophie Delightful, much the same as Scarlett. Cabaret producer, has produced around the world. She runs performers from interstate. She's a singer, she's a performer, she's a dancer, she's a sideshow artist. She is just everything, and we've got her. So, pretty stoked on that. Our final fly-in is actually Fairy Bones. Hey, Fairy Bones. So she's going to be bringing bubble magic. If you haven't seen that before, brace yourself. You've never seen bubbles like this. And some tribal fusion belly dancing. So we've got a really well-rounded lineup. Yeah, very, very excited.
So you're performing. Do you want to talk to us about what you'll be performing, or
Oh, yeah, maybe.
yeah,
Maybe.
what can we expect from the great Angela Aura?
Okay, so I'm not going to give everything away because you have to come to watch. But definitely doing little poetry mime burlesque opener. I'm bringing out some old sideshow tricks, some new sideshow tricks. I'm currently having a bed of nails built for the event, and I'm actually prepping a trick now that no one else has done before on bed of nails. So prepare to see it like you've never seen it before. I'm actually terrified myself. I may bring sideshow salad. There's an act I do where I balance a salad bowl and some swords and hula hoop and hammer a nail into my nose. Who knows? I've got a few tricks under my sleeve. I'm not 1,000,000% sure what I'll be bringing to the event yet, but I know that I have 2 new acts that aliens definitely haven't seen before to debut. So I'm actually super excited. As a performer over the years, often you get booked to do a thing and you fit into that pigeonhole. So in cabarets, when you're given that creative freedom, that's when performers can really shine. You can pick your own track. You can pick where you go creatively with it. If you want to be mesmerizing or sexy or cheeky or sensual or shocking or scare the audience. Like cabaret is the place where performers are at home to express themselves really creatively and make a mood. So yeah, using this very much as a good excuse to get creating, because you know what? No one can tell me what to do. It's my gig. And James called.
Oh, I'm so excited. I've seen you do all kinds of performances over the last couple of years that I've known you, and every time it's amazing. You're incredible. I'll never forget the first ever open mic night. Angela was there, and she did this amazing sword dance. And it's in a video of the first ever open mic night. And yeah, I still think about that every now and then. It was like biblical. The way that you moved, it was just so perfect. Yeah, obsessed. I would love to see you do some more sword and belly dancing. Maybe you could do something for us today.
I could actually. I bought a few things in case you ask, so I can actually do that.
Yay.
Yay!
So what is your favourite type of performance to perform?
I don't even know. Oh, how can you pick one? It'd be like picking between children. My favourite type of performance to perform, I have a few different arts that I do and have done over the years. And I honestly can't pick one that I enjoy more than the others. If I had to pigeonhole it and select it down, I know I'm banging this PSYCAB bandwagon, but it would be a cabaret style performance, because as a performer you can do roving performances, moving in and out of the crowd, interacting with them. You can do ambient performances, space activation. So for instance, me up here on the podium just doing the art but not doing a showpiece. So a lot of performing is filling the space and making events come alive. Whereas a cabaret or a showpiece that's choreographed, that's what I enjoy. Because it's whatever the moment is you're performing, it's done. It's done in the minute and it's finished, But when it comes to a choreographed performance or a cabaret piece, it's a whole process. It's not that moment in time. It's the time spent creating. It's finding the song to express the mood that you want to convey, and it's building a routine around that. It's waking up in the middle of the night with the melody in your head and being like, oh, I can bing bing pop this, bing bing pop. Oh my God, I can do it, bing bing pop. And then you wake up in the morning, you put on the track and you're doing it, and then you start the day with your song and that movement, and then it's just, it takes your daily life and it just goes all the way through it when you're creating a piece. For me anyway, like, I'll be walking with my song in my head, I'll be talking with my song in my head, and you get so excited every time you find something new to put in, and finding a costume for it. The whole process is so creative and wonderful, and it's this whole big build-up where you've watched the baby grass seeds grow into this whole show. And then that moment in time is like it's like the whole journey's been here, and then you get to do the show. And then it sometimes just evaporates into space, not to be seen for another year, But that journey of it, that's what I absolutely love. So I guess, yeah, that would be my favourite style of performing, is a properly choreographed piece where I get full creativity and I've been with it for the whole journey, and then to actually perform it is like a firework and a cherry on top of the whole experience.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Wow. So how did you get into the performing arts?
I don't even know. Oh, it just sort of happened. It very much happened. I'd been dancing for years, pole, belly dance, burlesque, things like this, just for fun. And then took up fire dancing and hula hooping, just for fun. And then all of a sudden, I think I picked up fire, and then pretty much a year to the date later, a group of us got a gig at the Bastille Festival in Sydney. So that was my first ever paid gig, was in front of thousands of people, and of course I didn't even know what a show should look like. So of course I put together something dramatic. Long red ball dress, a romantic choreography with spinning and dipping and sadness and anguish and romance and coming back together. It was very dramatic. Still one of my favourite choreographies. And then that went well, and I think about 2 weeks after that I was on stage at Splendour in the Grass, pole dancing and on fire. It was just one of those things that as soon as I started, it just went, And then, yeah, living in Sydney, gigs just flowed. It was all the time. Like, if you're an artist in Sydney, you're very lucky. If you're an artist up here, well, you got to make it work. So, yeah, it just flowed very, very freely.
Do you think it just all kind of opened up for you because you were just so in your truth and your element, like doing what you loved, and it's just like the second that you could just be yourself doing what you love, the whole world is just going, yes.
Yeah,
go,
you know what, I think so, because I love all of the things I perform. I love doing them. I do them for fun, not on stage. And I'm also pretty confident and pretty comfortable, and I'm not afraid to look silly. So there's no reason why I shouldn't step on stage and just do what I love in front of other people. You know, I'd be doing it at home for free anyway. So I'll step on stage, do it for you. You'll give me a round of applause. I'll feel good, you feel good. It's just natural. Some people take to the stage and it just works. You know, the energy that I get from a crowd, it just makes me feel happy and alive. And very rarely is there any fear. So yeah, it's a very, very natural place for me to be.
If you could give anyone advice who's just getting into like the performing arts side, maybe just like picking up like a fire stick or something, what would you tell them?
I would say diversify and practice. So as a performer, if you can do lots of things, you're very useful. If you can do 5 different props, if you're a fire dancer, you can have a one-man show, or you can fit into someone else's show. Yeah, diversify. Pick up dance lessons. Oh my gosh, pick up dance lessons, even if it's on YouTube. I think the only reason I got from picking up fire to on stage at Splendor in 1 year was because I danced for years and years and years. You know, figure out how to hold your body. You know, what looks good. Figure out what to do with your face. Face the crowd. Engage. There needs to be a point of difference between you on stage and you in the park or at home in your living room. You need to dress up. You need to give the crowd something to look at. You need to make them feel. Danger Boy, one of my very first performing partners, said something that made such an impact on me when I was a little baby performer and I was really focused on tricks, as if that was all people wanted out of me. It's like, you don't have to go as hard on the tricks. People don't remember all the tricks you did, but they remember how you made them feel. So think about feeling into what you're doing, the tracks, the movement, the crowd, the ambience, and sit in that feeling, convey it with your face, convey it with your movements. If you're striking, be striking. If it's a sad song, be forlorn. Like, feel into it and take them on a journey. Step outside of what you were doing and focus on how you can do it and make it look beautiful.
What is your dream gig? What is like ultimate fantasy performance, like come alive? What does that look like?
Honestly, it's PSYCABARET. Like, it's what I want to do. I love doing creative pieces. I want to do them with my mates. And honestly, between the 3 cities and the 3 shows, at least half the performers are really good mates of mine I've made in the industry over years. And the other ones that I've booked, they're going to be. They're legends, you know, incredible people. Well, that's pretty much all I want out of a gig, is to be able to be creative, have some good people to work with, have some good music, have a good crowd. I actually can't think of where I'd rather take it than where it is right now. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So talk to us a little bit about Sideshow, because I've seen you put a fucking nail in your nose.
I do that.
And the grinder as well. Like
Yeah.
So what's the difference between Sideshow and circus? Because you won't see that at the circus, will you?
No. Okay, so that's actually, great question. That's exactly where Sideshow came from. So the big difference between circus and Sideshow in modern times is more that circus is the big top, it's big scale, it's athleticism, it's large. The props are bigger. Sideshow is a more intimate style of performing, and it's one that has merit in the circus, but it's a little bit too avant-garde, sometimes a bit too gross, sometimes a little bit too, you really should consent to seeing Sideshow because it is shocking sometimes. So circuses would often have a separate mini tent to the side that was the Sideshow tent, which would have different things, the oddities as well, that we don't have nowadays, that they've had in crueler times, you know, the misfigured humans, the bearded lady, things like this. There were sideshow tents for this kind of thing. And the sideshow artists would do strange things, the razor swallowing, the sword swallowing, the balloon swallowing. There is a lot of swallowing in the sideshow. I just realised that. But yes, you're right, Brooke, I do a fair bit of sideshow. I have a trick that I do called mental floss. I also do blockhead, which you did mention, with the nail and the hammer. A sword balancing actually falls into sideshow, even though it's kind of a belly dance trick, it's a little bit of a grey area. Bed of nails, so all the more extreme but intimate style arts that would get lost in a big tent and also really shouldn't be seen by children.
Thank you so much for joining us at Dusty Records headquarters. I could not wait until the PSYCABARET show in Airlie Beach. So April 20th.
April 20th, 9 o'clock doors open, guys. Get in early, get warmed up, and settle in for a wild ride.
Be sure to buy your tickets as soon as possible. You've got pre-sale tickets and then on-the-door tickets.
Yes, please do buy early. They do go up incrementally until the door sales, and the more people buy early, the more we can afford to fly the performers in. So please do that.
You heard the lady, buy the fucking tickets.